Hello, everybody. We will have now two presentations from selected exhibitors. The first of them is Mr. Dave Quach. He is the founder of a 100% Vietnamese company named Bao Lan Textiles. And the company is investing a lot in research and development to propose a more sustainable offer. So please, sir, if you can join me on stage, it's your turn. And after his presentation, of course, you can ask your questions, and then we will have a second speaker. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Okay. Hi, thank you. Nice to meet you all today. It's a great day today, and I hope you guys enjoy your meal. The food here is good. My name is Dave. I'm from Vietnam. I'm a Vietnamese. I'm grown up in New Zealand. And I've come back to Vietnam around 14 years ago and started up my company. And we are a very rare company in Vietnam because our company focuses in R&D. And start up 14 years ago to doing sustainable in Vietnam is something that my dad and mom not agree. We have some argument when we were starting early, but actually now I'm still surviving. That's a good thing. So a little bit about me. We're going to talk about my company. And the star of the show today is pineapple fiber from Vietnam, and some of the things that we do. And the main thing I want to talk about is, to start, sustainable is not a destination to us. Because you can't be fully 100% sustainable. You have to be driven to be sustainable every day. You have to be better than who you are tomorrow. So for us, what we think sustainable is not a destination. It's a driven, it's a path, it's something you have to go and be better at yourself. So Bao Lan Textiles started 2011, 14 years ago, to doing one thing, to make sustainable material available and feasible to everybody. We started in just doing yarn. But in the beginning, doing organic yarn and recycled yarn 14 years ago in Vietnam is an impossible task. Nobody cares. A lot of us, we give to a lot of knitting house, a lot of knitting customer, they just put it on the shelf, doesn't use it. So we have to start with something melange and step by step using recycle, organic. And we put ourselves into research and find different material. So from Bao Lan, our aim is to make eco-fabric common and desirable. For Bao Lan, we have green yarn. Green yarn is a division from our company. What does it do is focus in research developing into 5 different kind of products. It's from cellulose, recycle, organic, special, and fancy. Because we believe everybody have the right to be pretty. You research something, you need to make it usable, desirable to people. And we have 5 area where we're working on. So green yarn focuses in material, research and material. In 2 areas that we focus in, one is biodegradable or recyclable. Biodegradable is natural or cellulose that have function or natural or property. And recyclable is mostly polyester, something that can have function add-on like coffee or collagen fiber that have function in the recycled fiber. And Wellfabric is, we did a lot of research. However, with fabric company, not that they don't want to be sustainable because they're driven by the customer. A lot of time when we are proposed to them about what we do, they just put it aside because there's no customer. They don't use. So end up we have to start our own division on fabrics where we work with fabric mill to developing fabrics from our material. And now come to our main talk today that I want to talk. Our company focuses on R&D, and in the past 4 years, we put our efforts on researching material for the textile that come from farming waste. This decision comes from a talk we have with a professor. This project actually work with university, work with factory, and work with research company to do. The question was, I asked her, where in the world lie the most big idea, the most invention, the most creativity. I lost a lot of people. And I don't have time to ask all, but the answer is the most invention in the world is lie in the cemetery. The reason is a lot of us, we have an idea in mind that we didn't act. We just sometimes forgot and slowly forgot it, doesn't do. So we have across a lot of idea, but because of everyday work, because a lot of things that we forgot or we didn't do, end up is got forgotten, and we take it to the grave with us. I talked to her that, and then the next night she called me in the middle of the night, and many nights after that, which get my wife a little bit jealous. Call me in the middle of the night. Who's the girl called in the middle of the night? Because midnight is sometimes you have a lot of idea, and we come up with this pineapple fiber. Why pineapple fiber? Pineapple is a very wasteful plant, because after we take the fruit, all the plants is going to waste. The leaf and everything, they either get burned off, buried, or make into fertilizer. Even those that become fertilizer, they're still creating some kind of toxic. So we call it green waste. When we take this, what we do is we don't make something new. We reuse what already in the environment. We reuse the farming waste. So in a way, it's eco-friendly. If you lower the carbon when you reuse it, and the process that we do is chemical freeze. We're only using water to wash, and another one is we're using only the heat, different temperature to make the fiber softer. And because the whole process doesn't use any chemical, what does it do is keep the property of the fiber. Because all the plants have one thing. Plants, they fight to be alive, like us. We fight to be alive. So plant, when you cut them, they heal themselves. So all those are the property of the plant. Plant, their photosynthesis. They have hemolygnin, they have all kind of stuff in their fiber that try to save themselves. So because you don't use chemical, you keep a lot of those property. So beneficial. It's a natural fiber that have beneficial inside the fiber. And what we try to do is we work with company from Australia to do a traceability. This is the first fiber coming from farming waste in Vietnam. Vietnam, we're producing a lot of textile in the world. And actually in this show, I just found out I'm the only Vietnamese in the show today. And we do a lot of textile exporting. However, a lot of material is imported from Vietnam. Cotton is imported, polyester is imported. This will be the first fiber coming from Vietnam, coming from farming waste. And we're working with Australian company to do traceability, where they have a particle spraying on a fiber, where you can trace on which farm the fiber coming from, which mill making the yarn, which factory knitting and fabrics making. Satisfied. We try to make an agri-regens for this fiber to satisfy that it's traceable, is from agriculture regenerated, and is ready to commercial. Vietnam have 53,000 hectares of pineapple farm, and all of the leaf is going to waste. That's come up to nearly, you can make around 1,000 tons per month from pineapple if you use it all. So the process is ready to commercial. If you can see on the board, how does it work is when the farmer pick the pineapple fruit, they also take the time to cut down the tree and give us the leaf. We took the leaf, we extract all the meat, and we get the fiber. All the meat, the farmer will be ferment into fertilizer again. And all these fiber, they'll be washed, dry, and then they'll cut and open into smaller fiber mixed with cotton. So we have mixed with cotton, we have mixed with cellulose, and we try to mix 3 fiber together, cotton, cellulose, and bamboo. And you can make into fabrics, make into clothing. So this process is 100% made in Vietnam. The property of this fiber, because we're using the natural method, doesn't use any chemical. What we keep of the property is the water absorbent, the antibacterial, We send the fiber to a lab in Japan to test, Nixon Kent. They come back to be 99.47% antibacterial from the fiber, from the yarn. And then because the fiber is from the leaf, the photosynthesis themselves, what it does is it have some UV protection. And it's acting like linen because it's from the leaf. However, because it's from the leaf, it's a little bit softer than linen. The highest percent of the fabric that we can mix right now is up to 30%. And we're trying to go up to 50% of pineapple in the yarn. And we launched this fiber last year in September. And thank you very much, especially thank you the team in Textiles that invited me today to here. And then last year, we got invited into a show in Vietnam. It's a very big show at the end of the year. It's from IIP, the new paper. IIP. Vietnam, we call IIP. I don't know how you spell it in here. It's IIP. IIP Men Fashion Show. We're the only one company in Vietnam invited to work with a fashion designer in Vietnam for the fashion. And this piece of garment is made from pineapple. The brand's called Hublet Plus. It's in Vietnam and it's in December last year, 2024. I'm very honored and thanks again. Thanks to our team to help us. Yes. Yes, and thank you. She have just told me that we have a display area and an ecology area in the ecological area, Wellfabric. If you see, we have some fabric, we have some garment. You can go there, have a look, and check it out. And actually, this is made from pineapple. The jeans that I'm wearing.
Thank you. Do you have questions in the audience for Dave? Any question? Yes. Can we have a micro maybe for the audience for the questions, so that I can? Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, it's working.
Thank you.
Have you made any LCA or environmental measurement of your fabrics in order to? Okay, great.
We're actually doing it right now. LCA assessment is working on a farm right now. They take around 6 months, so we're at the first month of doing the LCA.
And are you comparing it to another fabrics, another fibers?
Yes, you have to.
Cotton? Okay.
So LCA you compare to another fiber. So what we do now, try to compare to hemp and linen because they're similar category.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Just stay in the middle. Okay. Do we have another question? No more question? Okay, so it is time to welcome our second speaker. Thank you so much, Dave. Thank you. Yes, you can leave it here. Okay, so now let me introduce Vikas Budilaja. Yeah? Okay. So Vikas is the Vice President and Marketing Manager for Textile and Apparels of Arise. And so Arise represents Benin Textile Corporation, vertically integrating textile factories in West Africa in the textile ecosystem. And Arise's main objective is to develop a sustainable, competitive, and traceable vertical supply chain in West Africa. So pretty challenging. Please, Vikas, would you like to join me on stage? And maybe we can have the slides. Thank you. Yes, please. You can shift the slide with this. It's very easy. Just here. You can see the slides.
Thank you, TexWorld, for having me here. So, thank you everyone for listening to me. So, what I am going to present today is the emergence of or the emerging textile ecosystem in Africa, Normally, you guys would have heard about a lot. Most of the textile and apparel ecosystem are coming in Asia, either in China, India, Bangladesh, Vietnam. But this is a new sourcing destination for brands and retailers where a vertical, integrated, fully vertical supply system, which is traceable, sustainable, is emerging in west of Africa, which is little unheard of in the past, but last few years, with few aligned groups, this is becoming a possibility in Africa. And we are here to present Arise IIP and its vertical integrated textile and apparel ecosystem in Africa. So if you know Arise as a group, it's a pan-African developer of ecosystem, and it is having a presence in around 12 countries at the moment, with 3 countries having this ecosystem already in operations, as well as another 9 countries where we are coming up with our different commodity-based ecosystems. But when we talk about textile and garments, we are in Benin and Togo with the already operational factories and with already operational ecosystem. So I'll explain you a little bit about our parks and facilities in ecosystem-based Benin Park, which is Glo-Dibe Industrial Zone, GDIZ, where we have a web of factories which are currently operating. So what at a group level and what at the zone level we develop in a country is that ecosystem of industrial park with all the facilities, with all the sheds, garment sheds, vertical integrated mill structure, and then we provide all the auxiliary industries like packing, like printing house, like supply chain-based spinning factories, weaving factories, knitting factories, and then we invite the brands and retailers to come over there and certify and validate that ecosystem, and that's how that entire ecosystem starts. So we first build a understanding with the government of those countries for a PPP partnership, which is a public-private partnership, where Arise holds the majority of stake, and then the government or the government-based company hold the minority stake. So we build a park in collaboration with the government so that the policies and business policies of that particular park are well-aligned and stable over a period of time. Then we go on to develop the skilling and development part of the business. So we build the garment training centers out there, vocational training centers out there, and that is how the entire ecosystem takes place. So right now in our Benin Textile Park, we have the ecosystem for textile and garment manufacturing. At the same time, we have some other commodities like cashews, wood processing, and marble processing, and other industries which are operating in the park. One of the big advantages of our industrial zones is that we have availability of raw material ensured in the park. For example, for textile and garment, you need the fibers. So we ensure the possibility of storing those fibers like cotton fiber or polyester fiber within the zone. And we put up these ecosystem in the countries which are already the producer of that raw material. Like Benin is the biggest producer of cotton fibers in entire West Africa. And it produces around 400,000 tons of cotton every year, which is equivalent to 30 vertical integrated mills operating at scale. Then there has to be the large workforce base, and that is what Benin has. Then the preferential trade agreements like AGOA for duty-free access to US and Europe. So for Europe, Benin has EBA agreement where zero duty import of apparel into Europe from Benin is possible under REX certification. And for US market, we have AGOA in place. So all the products made in the zone will be duty-free imported into US if manufactured in Benin. Then the proximity to the consumer market, like the logistic timeline from Benin port to US is only 25 days, compared with many other Asian countries where it is 50 days. That is one advantage. And then for Europe, it is around 14 days to Algeciras, Spain from Benin. And the Benin has got a very deep seawater port, So that is one of the advantages which differentiate it to other landlocked countries in Africa where the port is not really there or it is at far off distance. And then the stable political system and the business security. Benin is quite stable, democratically elected government. At the same time, security is not an issue in this country, and there is no security threat. When we talk about the entire production of cotton in West Africa, so the globally 25 million tons, and Africa produces around 2 million tons of cotton every year. And out of this, 1.2 million tons of cotton is produced only in west of Africa. And Benin produces with the biggest share around 400,000 tons of cotton. So there is a big possibility of converting that cotton into value-added products in Benin industrial zone. When it comes to sustainability, traceability, ARISE always takes a little, far step to ensure that all our zones are really LCA certified. First of all, life cycle assessment is done for all the zones, all the products which the factories in the zone makes. So any product made within Benin using Beninese cotton is 60% more carbon efficient than any product which is made from Benin cotton and then exporting that cotton to China, and that product is finally being exported to US, rather than a product made in Benin from Beninese cotton and exported to US. So our industrial zones or textile zone or the textile factories in Glodive industrial zone are really carbon efficient. And looking at the regulations of Europe and US in coming times, we are almost 60% more carbon efficient when we are producing the goods from a vertical integrated factories in Benin. So we have done life cycle assessment of our factories, zones, as well as different products being made in zone. And you can see there is almost 60% reduction in the carbon incidence. So this is one of the ecosystem which we are building in Benin Textile Corporation. So the cotton is coming from the farms, which are just at a distance of 1 to 2 hours of logistics distance that the farms are. And we collect the cotton, get into our warehouses, do the spinning, knitting, dyeing, printing operation, and then sewing, and finally exporting via the Beninese port to the destinations of US and Europe, to the various brands and retailers who are currently buying. The value proposition is that we mitigate the reputational risks of all the brands and retailers, and we give it from a very compliant and sustainable ecosystem. Then the speed to market, duty-free access, and the destination is tried and tested. And we also have strategic partnership possibility with various brands and retailers. Currently, around 5 brands are already buying from the zone. And in future, we look at least 5 to 10 more brands which are all going to align with us. We have at present 2 vertical integrated knitting units and 1 vertical integrated home textile unit in the park. And we have few more mills coming up in Benin Textile Park, which are going to extend this ecosystem to capacities and scaling. So all these facilities, which it is showing like spinning, knitting, processing, all that is there in the zone. And all kind of knit products are being currently manufactured, whether it is single jersey, piqué, rib, fleece, French terry, all this is available out there. When it comes to the capacities, so we have close to 60 million pieces per annum, the current capacity, which is going to extend to more than 100 million pieces in another 1 to 2 years when our expansion plans takes over. And different product categories, whether it's kids wear, adults, undergarments, uniforms, all that is present there. So these are some of the examples of the products which my factories are currently making from brands and retailers. And these are some of the military products we are providing to African governments. And these are our technology partners around the world. Some of the best names like Rieter, Stabile, Toyota. And these are some of the certifications, whether RAP, SADEX, CTPAT, OCOTEX, ISO, all that is present there in our ecosystem. And these are some of the current buyers like US Polo, Children's Place, Gemo, Kiabi. And these are some of the upcoming buyers who are placing synergies with us. Thank you very much for listening to me. And if you have any questions, I am ready to take it up. Thank you. If you can have a view of my video, our factory video, so we are going to show you shortly. Before Nikhil takes over.
Yeah, before the questions, if we can have the video, please, thank you. Please, sir, please come with me if you have questions. Do you want to ask anything to arise? Any question? Yes.
Thank you. Thank you for your presentation. How many people are working in the Beninese plant today?
We have, hello. Hello, yeah. So we have at present around 20,000 people who are working in Benin Textile Park. And we are looking at close to 35 to 40,000 by end of this year, and another 50,000 by end of 26. So by 2030, the plan is around 300,000 people would be working in Glodibe industrial zone in Benin, when the entire zone is fully mature to the phase 3. So currently around 400 hectares is developed. Another 400 is going to be developed by 2027, when we expect it to be housing around 100,000. And then by 2030, we will have 300,000 people working in the zone in different industries, not only textile, but various other industries which are currently present in the zone. But in textile alone, you can say By end of next year, 30,000 people would be working. And we have the sieving capacity of around 5,000 machines at present, which is going to be, by end of 2026, around 10,000 sieving machines.